Eskom is keeping the lights on before elections, but should we be worried? As South Africa prepares for national elections, the recent uninterrupted electricity supply by Eskom has many business people smiling across the country, but many ordinary South Africans are remaining skeptical. Is the improvement on the provision of electricity and election ploy by the governing African National Congress to boost their chances of electoral success? Eskom recently celebrated 21 straight days without load shedding, something that has not happened in nearly 2 years. In the past 2 years, Mzansi has experienced 205 and over 332 days of load shedding, respectively. Eskom says this recent improvement comes from better power generation, having enough emergency reserves, and less demand for electricity. This recent success is thanks to our hard work in managing our power plants and the lower demand for electricity, Eskom announced, pointing to a significant change from the regular power outage South Africans have faced. With the elections coming up at the end of May, many are questioning how the state power utility is keeping the lights on. On social media, people are sharing their doubts. One user said, "Wait until after the election. The power cuts we'll face in winter will be rough." Another user stated, "They will make good opposition then. We are still not voting for them," showing that people are suspicious of the motives behind the improvements. Eskom winter forecast for load shedding predicts no more than stage 2 load shedding. To keep the election smooth, Eskom is working closely with the Electoral Commission of SAIEC to prevent power outages on voting day. Eskom's General Manager, Alois van Deventer, highlighted their priorities. "We're making sure that voting stations have power on election day, and we're prepared for any unexpected issues like theft or vandalism, even though we can't guarantee there won't be problems." But it's not just experts in social media talking, regular people are also speaking up. Salamina Ngube from East Rand said, "Things seem to get better temporarily, but let's see if it lasts after the votes are counted." Sandile Motau from Guadema added, "It feels like they're just trying to patch up a big problem temporarily. We need real, lasting solutions, not just quick fixes for votes." Eskom is trying to make long-term improvements like adding more power units and using new technology like the biggest battery storage system in Africa. These steps could mean better power stability. "We promise to keep power cuts no worse than stage 4 this summer because of the improvements we have made," Eskom stated, showing hope for ongoing stability. Minister of Electricity Kgotsieto Ramakgopa has attributed lack of load shedding to the ramping up of maintenance by Eskom at the end of last year and January this year. Ramakgopa said the fact that there has been no load shedding in almost 2 weeks was because Eskom had taken 18% of total generation capacity for maintenance, and these units were now coming back on stream. There were measures that Eskom had decided it would implement to ensure energy security supply. However, the minister said they were working on a number of other initiatives to address load shedding. On the plant condition, we made the point that the ramping up of the plant maintenance is very important, said Ramakgopa. If you look at the period December 2023 going into January of 2024, we took out 18% of the total generation capacity, about 9,000 megawatts at a go for plant maintenance, and we're beginning to see that these machines are coming back into service. They are coming back on load and they are adding to the capacity of the grid, he said. This is helping up to address the demand, and we're getting to situations more regularly where supply is ahead of demand. By this period, more of these machines will come on stream going towards the winter period. He added that Eskom has also established a war room to focus on planned maintenance. Most of the power stations have units that need to be taken for service. Another plan was to delay the decommissioning of power stations to ensure energy security supply in the country. These coal-fired power stations will add needed megawatts to the grid. He said the improvements that the country was witnessing were not accidental, but plans put in place by Eskom. The kind of improvement we are seeing is not an accidental. Essentially, it's an investment made by men and women, primarily at Eskom. The leadership at an executive level, the political leadership, and the leadership at board level. The CEO and his team are delivering the results we are seeing. I have emphasized there will be setbacks. If tomorrow there is load shedding, it does not mean the trend line has dissipated. We are trying to undermine opportunities for these units to fail, because as they fail, the system operator must initiate load shedding, said Ramahopa. There has been more generation capacity with 3 units back on stream. This does include renewable energy projects from the private sector. Load shedding will remain suspended until further notice. This decision comes after 2 consecutive weeks without load shedding as a result of sustained available generation capacity and adequate emergency reserves, said Eskom spokesperson Daphne Mokoena. She added that the power supplier plans to return 1,800 megawatts of generation capacity back into service on Friday. Tonight's evening peak demand is expected to reach 26,816 megawatts. Unplanned outages are currently at 13,807 megawatts, while planned maintenance is at 4,700 megawatts, Mokoena said in a statement on Wednesday. This week, Electricity Minister Dr. Kgotsientsho Ramaphosa commended Eskom's intervention to improve electricity supply in the country. Speaking at the media briefing, he said the interventions follow on from the Energy Action Plan. He said the ramping up of planned maintenance is very important. If you look at the period December 2023 going into January of 2024, we took out 18% of the total generation capacity, about 9,000 megawatts at a go for planned maintenance. We are beginning to see these machines coming back into service. They are coming back on load and adding to the capacity of the grid, and this is helping us to address the demand. More of these machines would come on stream as we go towards the winter period, Ramahopa stated. And that's it from INJIBS Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.